Thanks so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Ben Ehrenreich, who's a very fine journalist. Some of you may know his writings from the LA Times. He's writing a book now about his travels in the West Bank and Gaza. He wrote a beautiful piece for the book about his travels in Gaza, and I thought for this, City Councilor Alisa Klein, who has traveled extensively in the Middle East, knows the Middle East as well as anybody, would be the best voice to channel Ben Ehrenreich. Alisa, please, thank you.
I just say this is no Juno Diaz and it's no Monty Belmonte, but it's a good piece. We drove east and out of the city until there were open fields and olive groves on both sides of the road. We passed abandoned gas stations and idle factories. Muhaddam Fuad worked on a small plot of land, turning over the soil with a short-handled hoe. He wore Adidas track pants, the knees dark with dirt. His wife sat cross-legged on the ground a few yards away, a child in her lap. Fuad had owned a house near here, he said, but the Israelis bulldozed it on the second day of Operation Cast Lead in December 2008. More than 3,000 Gazan families lost their homes in that brief and one-sided war. 13 Israelis and 1,400 Palestinians, mostly civilians, were killed. Since then, Fuad and his family have lived in a mud-walled hut. His wife was pregnant. The land he was tilling wasn't his. He was paid 20 shekels a day to farm it, he said, a little less than $6. He used to work in the tunnels and made nearly 4 times as much. The child stood at Fuad's feet, sucking a finger and clinging to his leg. Fuad smiled. It's like life below zero, he said. Far to the north, a white balloon hung high in the sky, watching. We got back in the car and drove east towards the buffer zone. On the other side, in Israel, the fields were furrowed with crops, but here mainly grass and yellow wildflowers grew. The land that Muhammad al-Dabba was farming was a rare exception. He was an older man, dapper in a brown vest and gray button-down shirt. He smoked a cigarette in a wooden holder, picking at the spines of a paddle cactus with his free hand. In 2009, Israeli planes dropped leaflets warning Gazans not to come within 300 meters of the border fence. The IDF, the flyers promised, would eliminate anyone who will be found in the zone. Since you are warned, no excuses are accepted. The UN estimates that 30% of Gaza's arable land has been lost to the buffer zone. During the last war, the buffer zone expanded to comprise 40% of the entire Gaza Strip. Israeli troops shoot on a daily basis, al-Dabba said, as if he were talking about the weather. It depends how close we get.